Hello devs, let's solve today's LeetCode daily challenge question. So the question is smallest missing integer greater than sequential prefix sum. So you are given an zero indexed array of integer nums and a prefix nums of 0 to I is a sequential if all 1 less than j less than I nums of that means nums of g is equal to nums of j minus 1 plus 1. In particular, the prefix consisting only of nums of 0 is sequential. So, what is the prefix nums of 0 to I is sequential if it has a consecutive numbers. For example, 1, 2, 3. Okay, each has a difference of 1. The j minus 1 is the previous element, j is the next element. So, previous element plus 1, next element. Or you can say next element minus 1 should be the previous element. So, that will be the sequential and that is the prefix. Now, we have to return a smallest integer x missing from nums of I such that x is greater than or equal to sum of longest sequential prefix. So we first part is we have to find the longest sequential prefix sum, and then second part, if we divide this question into two parts, is second part is once we got the sum, then we have to find the smallest integer x which is not there in the array, that means which is missing from nums of I mean nums array, and that we have to return. So let's see the examples is now we are given example of 1 2 3 and let's say 2 5. Now what is the smallest not smallest, what is the prefix sequence here? It is 1 2 and 3. Okay, prefix is what? It is starting from the start. Okay, first, now this is the our longest sequence. What is the sum of this? Is 1 plus 2 plus 3 is what? Is 6. Now we have to find the smallest element missing in this array which is greater than 6. What is there? Only 6. Okay, greater than or equal to 6, you can say. If there was 6 element, let's say the array has again here it has 6, then what would be our answer? Our answer would be what? Our answer would be 7. Why? Because we have to find the missing element which is greater than or equal to our sum. So 7 is greater than or equal to our sum, which is the smallest one. Okay, what we have to find? The smallest element which is greater than or equal to what? Our sum. Sum is what? Prefix. Prefix of what? Consecutive sequence. We understood the question, right? Now if we divide into two part, first what we will find? We will find the sum. It is easy to find the sum of the longest sequence of like having this subtraction as 1, right? Once we get the sum, what we will do is in the question, if you have seen what are the constraint, let's see the constraint are 1 less than nums less of length is 50 and also the numbers are also 50. So my nums of I is will be between what? Will be between 1 to 50. Okay, now what does this mean? We can make use of hash array. What is the hash array? Array will be the array with size of x. What will be the x? X is the constraint here. So if I take the size of 51 with we get if index we want the index 50, if we get the size 51, then what we will do, we will keep track of the element which are present in nums of nums array, and then we will mark true or false. If that element is present, then that index of that this will be true. So for example, here I have 1 2 3 2 5 6. Let's say I have this hash array of 0 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. Okay, it will be there till 51 because we know the size, that's why we are taking. Otherwise we could have taken the hash set as well. Okay, now these are the indexes. So what I will do is I will mark this one is there, so this is my true. Initially everything will be false. Okay, if you have know the array properties, initially if we take the boolean array it will be false. Next is 2. 2 is also we will mark true. Next 3 is true. 2 is already true. Now 5 and 6 we will mark it as true. Now here I will have 7, 8, 9 and all indexes. Okay. Now what I will do, just avoid the 0. Now what we will do, I have the sum as 6. Now I'll traverse each and I'll check. Not each, I'm not going to traverse each. What I'll do, I will traverse from this sum, because we want the greater element than this 6, but the smallest element. So I will traverse from 6. Okay. Which side? On the right side. Now I will check for 6. For 6 it is true. That means 6 is there. So our answer can't be 6. Now I will go for 7. 7, it is false, because we didn't mark, because there is no element 7 in our array. So what we will do, we will return the answer 7. That's it. We will maintain the first part of the problem, finding the sum, solved. Second is finding the smallest element. So we do it by using this. Okay. Now how we are going to, instead of traversing this, what you say, like, instead of going one by one and checking, what we can do is, uh, our sum, let's say for example my sum can be greater than 50, right? So if I go beyond 50, okay, then my answer will be that sum itself. So what we will do, we will use a while loop, okay, instead of for loop. I'm explaining why. And we will check if my, till my sum is less than 50, less than or equal to 50, and if it is there in this, what we will do, we will increment our sum. Okay. And at the end, if my let's say if my sum is 50 and 50 is there in our array also, it will return 51. If my sum is 49 but 50 is also there in array, it will return anyway 51. Okay. And if my sum is, let's say, 200, till 50 anyway we are traversing, okay, then it will return what, it will return the sum itself. Okay, we are not traversing in case of sum is 200, because my sum is not less than 50. So anyway we won't be able to find in this case. So if the sum is greater than my 51, that means we can just return that. Okay, we don't have to write that condition anyway, but I'm just explaining. Now let's start coding. So what we are going to do is, we are going to maintain a hash array, which will be boolean hash. What will be its size? It will be 51, because I want to take the index as a number, 50 index. If it is 50, I'll consider it as a number 50. Now what we will do, first we will make it everything as true, from I 0 to I less than what, nums dot length and I plus plus. And then what, here we will do a hash of what, nums of I, means that index. Why we won't be getting any index out of bound here, because we are maintaining 51 size, and also we have less than 51 elements only. Okay. And the number also is, max element is 50. So max element is 50, so index we need maximum is 50 only. Now here we will mark it as true. Okay, so we initially marked everything as true. Now next is what we want, we want the sum. So I'll take int sum, which will be initially what, nums of 0, because anyway first element is in our sequence, we just have to find the next. So for and I is equal to, I'll start from 0, I less than nums dot length minus 1. Why minus 1? Because I'm checking the first element with the next element. So if I want to compare two elements, I'll take the second element as I plus 1. So I should not get index out of 1, and the last element we are considering anyway. So if my nums of I, my current element, okay, plus 1, if it is equal to nums of I plus 1, what is this? That means the next element is a consecutive element. These two are consecutive elements. My next element is greater than the current element by 1. So what we will do, we will add this sum plus equal to what, nums of which element we will add, the next element. Why? Because the first element we already have included. So in this case my I will be 0, so I plus 1 will be 1. So I want to add the index 1th element. Okay. Else what we will do, else if we don't get, that means that is the end of sequence. Then we will break here. Now we have got the sum, We have got that array. What I'll do is use while loop, as I explained, while my sum is less than or equal to 50, and my hash of sum. Why I'm taking this condition? Because hash has the size till 51 and the maximum index is 50. If it is true, till it is true, what I'll do sum plus plus, and at the end when it is false, anyway we will be out of this loop and we will return our sum. And if it is 200, it is not going to go inside this anyway, because my sum will be greater than 50. In that case, it will be the answer. Now let's run this. Okay. Ohms. Mistake. It should be boolean, right? Yeah. Now let's run this. Still. Oh, okay. It is nums. Silly mistakes I do every time. I hope. Yeah. Now let's submit this solution. Because sometimes happens like the I write nums instead of num or num instead of nums. So if you have seen, our solution got accepted. So in this solution we have used the extra space. You can make use of hash set also if you are not aware of this length. So why I choose to use the hash array is basically I know the constraint of till 51, so I can just specify the size and then make use of it. Why should I use the hash set? Or I can also use the hash set and I can keep it, and here instead of checking sum, we will check that if it is if it contains that element, then we would have done sum plus plus. We don't need this also. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you feel this video is helpful to you, please like this video, subscribe my channel, stay updated. Thank you.